My scribe was with me and he said that we're taking this one to the end. And I said, who's told you to take it to the end? I'm not at liberty to tell you that. What's going on in the background? That's the issue.
Really good entertainment. The best courtroom drama I've seen ever.
My personal view of it all is that the decision's already been made. They've not listened to it. Every time Michael speaks, they don't pay attention. They look like they're going to sleep. Every time the prosecutor speaks, they all lean forward and nod and agree and show that they're listening. I mean, it's the actions speak. I think it's about time we changed the law so we could video these, because they're criminals in those courts. Those people sitting there saying that they're representing us, it's criminal, it's false, it's fraud. You can name it any way you want. This is not a legal system which I consent to be governed by. This is criminal.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, this isn't about justice, it's about commerce. And this is an inferior court of commerce. And you're not being tried as a human being here. You're not being tried as a flesh and blood man with a living soul. You're being tried as an agent of the crown. All right? And originally, a judge or a justice was called a supernumerary, and that was an accountant, basically, in Roman times. So you're being brought to book, or you're being held to account financially. It's about commerce. It's not about harm being caused. And there was no harm being caused. Even the person who was claiming that they were assaulted now says that even in the court, is by his own admission, he said that it was a non-event. A non-event. Yeah. He said that in the courtroom the other day. It was a non-event, and he didn't allege that an assault had took place until after. This has all come about after. And you know, this is the point with me. This is not about justice at all. It's about commerce. And they're dragging you into the wrong jurisdiction here, because you're in common law jurisdiction unless you wish to contract. And by contracting, you give up your rights as a human being and you become a Crown agent, and it's only a tribunal for Crown agents in there. It's an inferior court. And upstairs, there's a bigger court that can hold these people to book.
Point the camera up to there. Stevenage Magistrates Court on the 22nd, 23rd and 24th of January 2013 in the trial of Mr. Michael Doherty. All those that took the witness stand and perjured themselves under oath in front of witnesses, you know who you are, we're coming for you.
Okay, Adam, fire away, mate.
Right, well, it seems to me, Stan, that after all the evidence that we've witnessed over the last 3 days, it was a no-brainer that the man is obviously not guilty of what he's been charged with. For the magistrates to come out and suggest that the CCTV footage that we've all seen in person isn't correct, and they've seen something different on that film, is a complete crock of shit. This is an absolute travesty of justice. This isn't right, is it? You know, and that's why I stood up on conviction. That's why I stood up on conviction and booed the magistrates from the back of the court and went for a public vote of no confidence, because this is just a crock of shit. Yeah. An absolute crock of shit. I've got no other words for it.
They cleared us all out, didn't they? Well, I just sat down and kept quiet. I put my jacket on. Most importantly, I grabbed my cakes, because nobody's having my cakes. And I waited till the security guards escorted everybody out, and I just addressed the bench, which I'm not entitled to do, and I told them that it's the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen. But it's not a surprise, because we knew this, or at least we'd all said day one, this is just a sham. You know, how did the prosecution counsel know this was going to go to the last minute? I'll tell you how, because they've played it all out before. They're just reading from the sheets. It's all been done before. They've written it all out. They've got all their witnesses. Admittedly, their witnesses were fucking worthless. And if I was a CPS, I'd be going to look at them. I want my money back. I want a refund, because they've brought these people down here. They've paid their expenses. They've done whatever they do. Bought them nice little uniforms, and they've been comprehensively destroyed under every part of their evidence by Mr. Doherty. and now they found they're not guilty.
Yeah, guilty. Yeah. Each part of each witness testimony has not been borne out by the video and the audio of what actually happened. Everything they said happened was false, and everything they said didn't happen actually happened. Yeah. Absolutely every bit of it was false testimony and perjury on behalf of the witnesses that appeared here today.
My version is every one of us has watched that video in court more than once, with audio, without audio. Yeah, it's quite simple. Even the police officer who said I was on the left, as Mr. Doherty's right, as he threw the punch, in court confirmed, sorry, I was on the left. He confirmed. We've all seen the video. It was done frame by frame. The time the apparent arm going across Mr. Doherty after he's been pushed, yeah, the copper was standing here. We've all seen it on the still frame. For them courts to come out and say we think he was on the other side after we've all watched this thing, man, and that was what they based their guilty plea on. This one copper who has lied in court, I'm telling you, it's perjury. They've committed perjury, and man, they should feel the full force of the law.
Not only is it perjury, it's, despite seeing material facts, this so-called bench have decided to allow Mr. Doherty, who they know will appeal this, to incur a further massive waste of public funds. You know, there's people in this country living in cardboard boxes, starving to death on the street, while these people flagrantly throw money because one of their security wallers was told that something he didn't like, and that is the simple matter of it.
It is.
This has not ended. This has not ended. This is just getting started.
Well done, Michael.
They want £3,000 off me, £2,000 of prosecution costs, £1,000 fine, and that's the seriousness they place this matter.
Wow.
Utter joke.
So what
Utter joke.
1 hour for that shitty barrister in there?
1 hour.
Yeah, that's what he's on, isn't it? £2 an hour.
I've no idea what that will cost, but they're reckoning. That's anyway. Whatever. Well, no, of course I'll be appealing this case. It's an utter joke. It's a travesty, and I think the reaction of everyone in the public to get up and walk out is quite expected and stuff like that, and they should be ashamed of themselves for what they've done. They've said I was guilty for alleged assault of Mr. Carter for not punching him, but alleging a straight right punch, which is not in the CCTV at all. The witnesses in this case are utterly scurrilous, liars, cheats, and this court system in the UK is obviously supporting them in their lies. Yeah. What we've seen over the last 3 days is just utter liars, broken down in the stand, and yet they'll still trot out a stupid narrative verdict on like an absolute tosh. Yeah. Well, I think there's clearly enough evidence to prosecute Nigel Carter for perverting the course of justice immediately. Yeah. Yeah. Which would be quite strange that I can get accused of alleged assault and he can, be prosecuted for perverting the course of justice. It'd be rather weird. But obviously, I'll be appealing, and on it rolls, and all of this stuff, this little show can carry on, can't it?
The magistrates lying about which side the PCSO.
Oh, yeah. So on a CCTV, the magistrate, the chair magistrate, who everyone said at the beginning and all that they were going to put out this verdict anyway. So it's no surprise to me. But they've said that the PCSO, at the time the punch was thrown, which is just nonsense, was clearly to your right.
Hello, control room.
Hello, control. It's Alpha 41.
Hello there.
Hello. I'm a bit of a strange one. I'm at the Cambridge Magistrates Court on a case. However, there's a chap here who's been a bit of an arse, to put it nicely, and has been ejected outside the court. So I was just ringing through to see if a job had come through for it all.
Let me just have a look. Oh, that one's finished. No, there's not one being put on at the moment.
Yeah.
Are we going to need one?
Someone, I think he's one of these guys who's got himself all het up, and the security guys are here, and I think might need to get someone down here just to have a chat with him, because he's otherwise he'll escalate, or he might try and come back.
I would also say that I think it's clearly a very, very dangerous situation. That you go to a place, you speak to people, and then they trot out lies about you, saying you did X, Y, Z. And even when you prove that they're liars, the courts will still back them up. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, these were court staff, and I'm in the same court being tried. There's no impartiality to it anyway. So on to the appeal court. To be honest, I don't really care. They're showing themselves up for what they are.
Yeah,
absolutely. They've strengthened our cause.
Yeah, without
all they've done is show us
true colours
and show everyone else who's going to watch these videos, and people who might not have believed us before, are they going to watch where that PCSO is in that video, and they're going to look at that verdict of where they say he was, and there's no getting out of it. What they have done now, that it's in writing, it's all documented perfectly. Those magistrates have perverted the course of justice by lying about the position of the PCSO. They'll be held accountable in a court of law. And let's see, it's an aggravated offence for a magistrate to abuse their position, so we hope that they'll receive the full term of sentence of maybe life. What would you say?
I reckon that if someone can sit there in judgment of someone else on that and see the amount of lies that we've seen over the last 3 days, and then trot out that there's no doubt in this case, is utter nonsense. To suggest that I was in any way speaking down to Mr. Carter, even though that wasn't even his evidence, You showed speaking down to him because I said you're just security and I'm out waiting to speak to a court manager. That's enough to throw you out of the court. Is utter nonsense. But of course they're just protecting themselves. That's what they're doing. I don't really care.
Pub.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind one beer then.
I made a personal account out of my personal interest as a member of the public. I've made a personal tick account.
Can you show us that?
Yeah. Right, here's some of the responses from some of the offices. I've got 3 days worth of it at home. These were all taken contemporaneously at the time. You know, and here we have just the first one that springs to mind.
All right, that's cool, man.
PC Barrack. I don't remember 5 of them.
Hang on, where's your finger?
Right, PC Barrack. That's 5 times. I can't remember 3 times. I'm unable to remember twice. I don't know once, not that I can recall, and I don't know that I resemble. I don't remember. I've no idea. Now, the interesting thing about these that were taken in court at the time, these were responses to the prosecution. When Mr. Doherty took the stand, these figures went up 100-fold. It was just like a constant stream of, I don't know, I can't remember. Right, I took these down at the time. I don't remember 5 of them. I can't remember 3 of them. I'm unable to remember 2 of them. I don't know which one of my personal favourites. Only 1 of them. Not that I can recall 3 of them. Not that I can remember. I have no idea. Right, 1 each of those. This was PC Barrack under oath, 490 in the stand, and that was just in response to the prosecution. When Mr. Doherty takes a stand, mate, we've got pages and pages of it.
Can't remember.
Ridiculous.
Can I say, Stan? Can I say, like Muhammad? Is it? No, it was like Muhammad Ali when was it Muhammad Ali who didn't go to Vietnam?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and he got a badge of honour. He took his criminal conviction as a badge of honour. I'll take this criminal conviction at the moment as a badge of honour. Yeah, as a badge of honour for standing up to injustice.
Yeah. Woo! Damn straight.
I'll get rid of it in the future, but at the moment it's a badge of honour to stand up to people who are liars, who are bullies, who abuse their powers, and unfortunately, you know, in the last few years I've had to deal with many of them who abused their powers. But maybe Mr. Carter, if he's watching this video, wants to take a look at what happened to the other people who lied about me in the last 4 years. You might want to take a look, Mr. Carter, because one day I'll see you. I'll tell you this, I collected evidence in this case during these last 3 days, and all of you lot who've lied in the court, you will see yourselves in court, you will see yourselves on prosecution for perverting the course of justice one day. Okay, as you all know, I was convicted last Thursday, it's now 3 days later, and I've got to say thank you very much for everybody for all your support. It has gone massive now. As you know, you can take a look at the various Facebook accounts and stuff like that. There's massive interest. This video, I hope, is going to show you a little bit about what's been going on with it, the CCTV, the audio, the alleged punch and all of that, and you can make up your own minds about what's going on. I've been organising in the meantime the appeal to this, which will be going on in the next few months, and also a human rights lawyer who's going to be taking this forward on the abuse of my constitutional rights of access to the courts. So watch this space, and thank you very much for everything you've done. Justice now.
Ha 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 ha!